Hey everybody, today's R&R show is brought to you by gamerglass.art.
And here we are. Hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Oh my goodness.
Not that I thought that was pretty smooth this time. How was that?
Pretty smooth. I don't know when I'm so comfortable with this process that I won't be still just sweating bullets and please just work. Just work. That's all I'm asking. Universe, please.
That's right.
But it seems it's all going okay so far.
It is all good. Yes. Welcome, friends, to the R&R show. This is episode 6, and we're so happy to be here today, live streaming from our studios, home studios, and we want to shout out everyone in chat. Thank you for joining us. We have such a great time doing this, and it's always wonderful to see y'all here. And you know what? Just listen to that peppy music at the start. I hear that, I automatically think it's Wednesday at noon Pacific, and we are ready to talk about some games, my friend.
I must be triggering some kind of Pavlov response in you then that got you trained.
Totally got me trained.
Yes. Hello to everybody. Hello, Brian. Hello, Leva. Hello, Matthew. Hello, Facebook. Hello, YouTube. Today, I'm not saying hello to Twitch because we are not streaming because September 1st, there is a strike going on Twitch. And if you'd like to know a little bit more about that, you can go to strike.rahdo.com. That takes you to, was it a CNET article, I think, that we found?
Yes, it is a CNET article that talks about what's happening on Twitch. Basically, friends, there are these things called hate raids that have been happening on Twitch, and they've really targeted a lot of marginalized creators. And as a way of showing support, we are not streaming on Twitch today, and a lot of us who are regular Twitch streamers are not. So please check out the article there, strike.rahdo.com, and support your favorite streamers.
Yeah, definitely. Including Mr. Ruel Gaviola himself. He will be back, I'm sure, tomorrow with Michelle.
That's right. Yeah.
Streaming up a storm.
Streaming up a storm. Yep.
Right. So today we are going to be doing a new top 10 and all the regular stuff. I think we're getting to the point where we now have regular stuff. That's good.
That's right.
And one of them is a shout out to our sponsor, gamerglass.art. For folks who don't know, gamerglass.art is a website. You can go there right now. And it's my wife's glass company. She makes beautiful, custom, handcrafted glass. And this week, because she's supporting the show, she is running a special offer for you folks. If you go to her store, her Etsy shop, and use the code RNRHearts, that's Rahdo and Ruel Hearts, you can get 20% off her line of meeple hearts, which are very cool little pendants. You can use them for decorations. You can hang them from your rear view mirror or put them on your Christmas tree. You either got a meeple in front of a heart or a heart in front of a meeple. It was a line she made for Valentine's Day. They were very popular, and she's got a few more, and you can get these. They make great gifts. So go to gamerglass.art. That will take you to her shop directly to these particular items, which you can get 20% off of if you use the code rnrhearts.com. And actually, I want to say Jen wants to give a huge thanks to everybody who responded. She also sponsored last week. She got a really big turnout. In fact, I almost every day last week I had to go down to the post office because she was mailing so much stuff out. So huge thanks to everybody, and thanks to Jen, and thanks to my co-host Ruel. And what's next on the list?
We've got, you know what? I'm looking at your table right there, Rahdo.
Okay.
What is happening over there?
Hey, it's the What's on Rahdo's Table segment, which actually we didn't do one last week because we were worried that I was going to continue to be in super low res. Am I in super low res now? I'm nervous. Let's take
on my end. You're perfect. On my end, you're perfect. Let's verify with friends on YouTube and Facebook. Friends, if you can just confirm audio and video. So far, so good.
So far, so good. Yes, always. Yeah. We were the hubris of us. We were flying too close to the sun, just assuming everything was working.
There, folks. Only here can you get every Wednesday a reference to Icarus. There it is, right there. So
where else would you go? So yes, it looks. People say it looks great, sounds great. Hooray! I did reboot my router this morning, like a good streamer. And so this is Adventures of Robin Hood. It's from Cosmos. It came out in German last year. It's just now starting to go out. I've got a slightly advanced copy, and oh my gosh, I love it so much. Let me give you the overhead head view. It's a big, story-driven adventure from Michael Menzel, artist extraordinaire, but also the great designer of Legends of Andor. And it's all about, a multi-chapter story where we are Robin Hood and Little John or Maid Marian or Will Scarlet, I believe, are the 4 playable characters. And I've just got it set up because I'm going to be filming this later today. The cool thing about so many cool things. One, hardback book. Look at this thing.
Oh, wow.
Really, really nice. This is really taking it to the next level. But I guess, Cosmos in Germany, their main gig is not board games. They're like an educational book publisher, I believe. So them doing a hardback book, no surprise. Really, really nice. And oh my gosh, the coolest thing I have seen in years in these kind of adventure games, little how sometimes you're playing an adventure game and you're like, wait, did we do everything on that last step in Clank Legacy or whatever? Oh crap, now I got to go back and find the other entry and check. You can keep track of your entries. It actually says refer to page with the yellow thing for your current objective and red for your what to do in case of combat and stuff like that. Brilliant.
Wow. That's genius.
Then the game is fun too. You'll notice there's no grid, there's no hex. We move around in very analog format. When it's Robin's turn, you might say, okay, I'm going to kind of sneak around in the forest. And that's as far as I need to go, right? And then on a future turn, he's like, okay, I really need to make a run for it. And so you've got the longer piece, and you could go really far and, make a big jump in. Oh, I almost reached the front gate, but I didn't quite make it. So it's got this very kind of soft analog feel as you're trying to kind of like, gleam the cube and go around tight corners and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. And then if all that weren't enough, it's basically a board game advent calendar because, hey, if I'm Robin and I want to run over here and steal from this rich guy, well, after I defeat him, he's gone. It shows me what my reward is for beating him. And then he's gone. Boom. Just gone.
Wow.
And, there's a thing that makes bad guys appear and disappear. If it says, I came over here. Next round, the thing might say guard number 7 appears, at which case, oh no, Robin is cooked. He's going to be jumped by that guard unless he can fight them off and stuff. And you're chased around by Guy Gisborne or Sir Guy, who moves around with the same system. It's really cool.
Wow.
Jen and I have really been enjoying it a lot.
That looks amazing. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah. People in chat where people are excited. A couple of Errol Flynn references. Very nice.
Oh,
well done.
Yes. Oh, we've been ignoring the chat. Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Also, I love the comment someone talked about. This is Men in Tights, the board game. Well, I think it's probably not that type of humor, but I appreciate the reference. Very nice reference.
Yeah, I have not seen any of that. I guess it's it's not serious or dark though. It's Errol Flynn type stuff. It is not the Kevin Costner one or Robin and Marian. This is a bright, colorful, exciting, adventure-filled world that we are exploring, and it's a lot of fun. Really enjoying it.
I love how you described it and actually showed how it is like an advent calendar. You were turning over the little things. That's so neat.
Yep.
And the hardback book, of course. Oh my gosh, that looks amazing.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be available wide pretty soon, if not already.
Right.
But okay, we've done the What's on Rahdo's. What's the next on our checklist?
Yeah, give out some games. Let's do this.
Let's give away stuff to people who support us. Yay! So folks, it is Cafe Lux Generations is what we are offering today. Which as we talked about last week is a very, very cool card game. This is Capital Lux 2 Generations, and it's the full Kickstarter package with both expansions that are available, all the amazing art by Kwanchai Moria, the wonderful design from Christian Osby and Eilif Svensson, one of my favorite design duos. So a very good game, and one of you, well, maybe not you, but somebody somewhere in the world is going to win it as soon as I click the Wheel of Names. Are we ready?
Good luck, everybody. Good luck.
All right. Hopefully I showed the sounds
too today. Nice.
All right. And the winner is Volker Grun. Hey, congratulations, Volker.
Congrats, Volker. You will be do they contact you or will you contact them?
I will be contacting them. I've got Volker's email. By the way, folks, I never said this. Don't worry. If you want to enter the contest, your emails are not going into a database at all. I've just got them in a folder in my Outlook, and after the contest is over, I delete them all Promise, Scout's honor. I am not harvesting you and selling your data on. We're just here to give away games like Capital X Volker. I will reach out this afternoon and tell you what needs to be done to get a copy as it starts shipping. And that's last week. Hey, Ruel, should we do another contest?
Why don't we do another contest? What are we giving away this week, Rahdo?
This week, I believe you've got some stuff queued up for it instead of me.
And here we are. And come on. Please work. Here's
the veneer falls away. And all of a sudden, we're just grasping on, just holding on for dear life.
Just panicking right now. But
it's Flamecraft, folks.
Look at this.
Oh my gosh, this game has blown up in such a huge way.
Yeah.
And I couldn't be happier because it's a great design from great folks. It is a worker placement game where the worker placement spots grow and evolve over the course of the game. It's got amazing art. It's got really, really cool components and really satisfying worker placement gameplay. And one winner will be getting the Kickstarter Deluxe package with the metal coins and the painted meeples or the tokens for representing all the resources. Also, they'll be getting the special dragon, which is a cool little thing they're doing as a bonus add-on. But only if you can solve a puzzle. If you're just thinking, by the way, folks, if you have backed Flamecraft, you're thinking about it and you don't know if you're going to win because you got a shot. But if you're thinking about backing it, definitely read the page because they're doing a special little contest where if you can go and solve some dragon-themed puzzles, you can get an extra add-on. So don't miss that in case you're backing this yourself. But it's a really, really sharp game. And if you're thinking about backing it, you've got just under 20 hours, I believe, from now. I think I went and looked up, and if my math is correct, in 20 hours or 19 and a half hours, this Kickstarter will be closed.
Yeah, so this game it's so beautiful, and I'm a worker placement fan. Just the way you describe it, and actually, we talked about this game before. I'm all about this game. So, friends, you can win your very own copy by sticking around today. And let me shut this down here.
So, thank you, Julia. Julia said the puzzle stuff ended last week, so you're too late. Now, the only way you can get one of the special dragons is by winning this contest. So, of course, you want to enter. And, Ruel, how do they enter?
Folks, you're going to enter a secret word and send it to contest@rahdo.com. Now, what is the secret word? We're going to let you know sometime during the show. So you're going to have to stick around and hang out, chill out with us, listen to us talk about some games. And we've already decided what the secret word is. One of us is going to try to get the other one. Now, unofficial count is, I think, 3-2 me. I've gotten you 3 times. You've gotten me twice, I believe. Is that correct?
Yep. And I'm going to tie it up today. If one of us can surreptitiously work the secret word into a conversation and the other person doesn't notice, well, they lose a point, or we gain a point.
You got me good last week. You got me really good.
I got you very good.
I had no idea, and then finally you just said, "Hey, you missed it." I was like, "Wait, what?" So
the pressure of this is starting to mount. I think we can't keep doing it because it's just going to be the whole episode is us just thinking, "Okay, I use the word now. This is the right time." What are you talking about? I'm not even listening to you anymore.
That's right.
All right. Okay. Apparently, you can still get the special dragon, says Michael Straw. Okay, I just clearly didn't look. You just can't enter the contest to win the game from the puzzles. All right.
Fair enough.
Yes. Clearly did not do my due diligence. I wasn't even expecting to talk about the puzzles. I just saw them this morning. I thought, that's so cool. And I obviously didn't read the small print. But fortunately, the chat did. Hello, Richie. Hello, Michael. Hello, Victor, Albert. Stacy Everdell.
Stacy Everdell's in the house.
Hello, Stacy.
Always good to see Stacy here. All right. So we've taken care of business. Why don't we move on to the topic of the day? So we've got the top 10 games we want to play now.
Right. Okay. And so what each of us has is a list of 5 games. And I don't know how well rank this. For me, this is just stuff that I'm like, oh, boy, I haven't played that game for a long time. Boy, I really love that game. Man, if Rahdo Runs Through didn't exist and I were a normal person, I probably would have played that game 3 times this month already. I've got a mix of like relatively new stuff that I haven't played in over half a decade. And I've got 5. Ruel's got 5. We're going to count them down to become the definitive 10 games that we think, if we had no other responsibilities at all, this is what we would be doing. And we'll see how it goes. You want to go first?
Yeah, so just to clarify my list. Now, I actually picked. I was looking at the older games, and I got sucked into this whole cult of the new thing this time. And I'm ashamed to say, but I've got some stuff that I really want to play right now that I have not played before.
Oh, okay, all right.
This is going to be interesting. I'm going to start off. So, friends, here we are. The top 10 games.
Oh, I love. They're taking bets. Prediction. There's a Feld on my list. The question, Nane 1982, is which Feld? Can you call it? All right.
I thought for sure there's that, and that's what I was thinking. There's definitely got to be a Feld on your list. Let me get this going here. So, friends, these are the top 10 games we want to play right now. And my number one, or not really, my number 10. The number 10 is going to be, I knew this was going to happen.
Oh, you were going so well.
Like you said, the flight of Icarus should be a lesson to all.
Or wax wings, they're melting.
Wax wings are melted. The number 10 game on my list that I want to play right now, I have not played it, is Ankh.
Oh, really? Okay,
Egypt. Yeah. Yes. This is an Eric Lang designed game. I'm a huge fan of Eric Lang. One of my top 10 games of all time is Blood Rage. Funny story about Blood Rage.
Right behind you on the wall there, I see.
Right behind me. Yeah, there it is, folks. Blood Rage is pretty much the first, I would say, more complex game that got me into the hobby. Up until that point, I've been playing Ticket to Ride, Pandemic, stuff like Suro, very gateway-ish style games. Which I guess Pandemic might be a little more complex, but Blood Rage was the one because of all those little minis and just the gameplay. It just felt really epic in about 90 minutes. And this is the third in the trilogy, right?
Right. It's Kemet, this one, and
Rising Sun, Blood Rage, and Ankh. Those.
Kemet doesn't count.
Kemet, I don't think it's an Eric Lang design, is it? Is it Kemet? I gotta look
it up. The chat will tell us.
Yeah, chat. Who is Kemet? I don't think that's an Eric Lang design, is it?
I have to admit, this is not my bailiwick, so I'm really
yeah. So that's not an Eric Lang. So Ankh, this is just like the other games, area majority. So this is not a game where you're gonna turtle up and hide, and this is a in your face, very conflict heavy player interaction game. In this one, you are playing as gods of Egypt. Right.
Yeah.
And you'll see here all the minis. I'm just popping up here. You're playing as God of Egypt, trying to survive as society begins to forget their own ways. So you're beating each other up, bringing out monsters and stuff. And excuse me, what you're going to eventually do. This, I actually heard about this on the on a podcast that I listened to called the Board Game Barrage. I love those guys. They're based here in LA. They're friends as well of mine. They had mixed feelings about it. I think some of the things that they talked about were right on point as far as these type of games. Area majority, you're not fooling around. There's going to be conflict. And the thing is, there's a little bit of player elimination in a sense where one player, whoever's out first, they're going to respawn basically and work with another player in order to try to achieve a different victory condition.
So it's really unique system.
Yeah, so
because everybody in chat saying, "Ruel, what do you think about the merge? Tell us about the merge. We're so excited about the merge."
There's the merge, and that's the one thing that I'm so curious about this game because I don't think I've played anything like that. That off the top of my head, there's the merge system is not something I've seen.
Did I misunderstand you? It's basically if somebody loses, they're still in the game, but their war effort merges with somebody else, and now those two players have a new combined objective to win.
Correct.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. And, Eric is, he's one of the top game designers in my opinion. So for him to bring this into this game, I'm really looking forward to it. That is Ankh, Gods of Egypt by Eric Lang.
All right. Okay, cool. Okay. Well, going from the sandy, dusty war stuff, how about we go for some nice, dusty Euro stuff? My number 9 on the list is Praga, Caput, Regni.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, which I don't know if you played.
I have not, but I've heard many good things about it.
It's definitely appropriate as a 9 over a number 10 because, oh my gosh, this game is so great. And I'll be honest, it's on my list because this was Jen's favorite game of last year. I believe it was her number 1 personal game, and it made my top 10 as well. I love Vladimir Sushi. He is one of the best designers. Show the pictures if you can, because the coolest thing about this is a game of gathering resources and converting them into building and whatnot. But if you look at the board up there in the top right corner, the action selection mechanism is wonderful. There is a literal spinning wheel on the board that has all these different. Can you zoom in on it? You can. There we go. Yeah. So that really wheel, it is a spinning wheel. A carousel, I suppose you'd say. And in each one of the, you can see in half the slots, there's these little tiles. Those whichever tile you take, those are the actions you have available to you. You pick one action or the other. And the thing is, if the actions don't get picked every round, that rotates clockwise one time, and over time the actions become cheaper. It's a very simple way to represent what you often see in card games, where like all the cards have to shift over one space. Here, it's the wheel that's spinning, but also as they spin around, it changes what bonus you get. So I might want a tile that's very important, but I'm waiting for it to get into a certain slot because it'll combo with a particular bonus that's perfect for me. But if I wait too long, somebody else might take it, and it just works so wonderfully. Everything about this game is absolutely fantastic, but the action selection is just the bee's knees. And like I said, it was in my top 10. It was my wife's favorite game of the year. We've played it, I think, 4 times in total. And ever since we talked last week about doing this subject matter, and this was like one of the first ones that popped in my head, it's all I can think about. I want to play more of my number 9, Praga, Caput, Regni.
Very nice choice. Oh, yes. Yeah, that looks fantastic. Now the wheel there, it reminds. Does Glass Road, does that have something similar, or is that different? I just think wheel. I think Glass Road by Uwe Rosenberg, and maybe I'm misremembering how that works.
No. Glass Road is it's picking tiles and whatnot. And also, you have forgotten the secret word.
Oh my gosh. Did you just get me?
But I don't know if we call this, but our first thought of the secret word was going to be glass, because my wife is a glass artist, but we thought, no, let's not go with that.
Me?
Oh yeah, so God. The contest is still on. The correct word, which I'm sure you now remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so now it's popping. Okay, let the contest continue. I think I deserve a half point. 1 for catching him, and 2 and pointing out that he was completely wrong in his secret wordage.
Wow. So should I, does that count? Should I show?
No. Let's keep going.
My goodness. So you got a half. Okay. Yep. This is, folks, I need to get on my game here. This is, now I'm getting mad.
Pull yourself up by your bootstraps and tell us about
seriously. Oh, well done. Okay. So now
by the way, people can't pull themselves up by bootstraps. It's physically impossible. Just as a brief political interlude there. Sorry, but anyway, please continue.
You learn something new every week here, friends. So we're happy that you're here. My number 1098. This is a game that I am super excited to get back to the table because it's been a while. It's been about almost a year since I played it. It's one of my favorites. It is Raiders of the North Sea.
Sure. Yeah.
From Shem Phillips. He is a really big. He's big on the worker placement mechanism, and as I've already stated here and elsewhere, I'm a huge fan of worker placement games. This one I'm really excited to play again because I did not think Michelle would like this game. Straight up, I didn't think she'd like the raiding theme, Vikings, and everything. I know she likes worker placement, but this is a really good entry level gateway. Worker placement game, and
it's
Michelle
so pretty. Zoom in on that board; it's so gorgeous.
Yeah, right. There's the zoom right there. Yes. Anyway, she loves this game. She loves it probably more than I do, I was very surprised about. You basically get your troop of Vikings, gear them up. You hire people, workers, and also people who are going to fight, and then you launch them into these different locations here in order to get resources that'll get you points at the end. And being a good Viking game, of course, you're going to, some are not going to survive the battles. They will go to Valhalla, and in Valhalla, you actually score points, just like we were just talking about Blood Rage. They do the same thing. You go to Valhalla, you're going to get points. This one, we will probably play this weekend. I'm super excited about it because it's been about a year since we played it, but it's always a favorite. That is Raiders of the North Sea.
My question to you is, this is a great call. What about Raiders of Scythia?
I like Raiders of Scythia as well. And here's the thing. If I had to pick base games, Scythia is it. But I already have Raiders of the North Sea with a bunch of the expansions, and I feel like that's the better experience. And honestly, I think I like it with the expansions a little better. Now, if Scythia comes, or when Scythia, I'm sure they're going to do it. Yeah. When they come back with their expansions, I may have to change my mind. But for now, it's Raiders of the North Sea.
Good call. Okay.
All right.
So that was your number 8. My number 7 is actually, I believe it is the newest game on the list. This is my hotness that I just want to spend more time with. Terraforming Mars, the Ares Expedition.
Oh, nice.
Yes, very, very much so. Or as some people like to call it, Race for the Mars Galaxy is another way perhaps you might want to refer to it. This game is great. What makes Terraforming Mars its best, but fused with a really wonderful Race for the Galaxy action selection mechanism, plays in half the time, maybe even a third of the time of a full game, and it just packs such a huge punch. And one of the things I really want to spend more time with it has a cooperative mode, which when I covered it when it was on Kickstarter, I did not have access to that. I'm very curious to try that out, and I'm also very curious to try. When I did my run through for it, I talked about kind of like a little house rule variant I'd like to go. We're kind of merging the solo gameplay mode. You know how in Roll for the Galaxy, I know you love your roll.
Yep.
If you play it 2-player, it replicates a third player by just rolling a die every round.
Yeah.
There, you could take the solo mode and merge it into the 2-player to kind of speed it up a little bit and just give it a little bit more dynamism. And I really want to experiment with that while also terraforming the Red Planet. And so I mean, I got to play some more Terraforming Mars, the Ares Expedition.
Yeah, and we've talked about this a couple of times on the show so far. Like, I'm excited to get back to this one as well. As you said, it is Terraforming Mars in a much more condensed game time. Time. So, nice choice. Well done. Okay, my next one. I'll just punch it up here on the screen here. Right. My next game that I want to play right now is this is the one. Cascadia. Now, this is the one I thought
right up there, right on my wall.
Excellent I thought this one might make it onto your list, Rahdo. This is the one I was talking about where I was like, oh, this might be on Rahdo's list. But this is definitely high on my list of games I want to play right now because Michelle and I love tile laying games. And this is not only tile laying, but also token drafting and laying on there. You've got the Pacific Northwest, the wildlife, the habitats, and you're drafting, placing. From what I understand, it is not quite as brain burny as Calico. That's what I've been hearing. Early word is. And
wait, have you not played it?
I have not played it. That's why I'm saying I want to play it right now. Yes, I know it's AEG's. They've apparently my copy is on its way. I believe. Okay. But I'm so excited about this. We've been talking about it for like over a year now, and I'm starting to see copies in the wild. People are starting to post pictures. Hey, we got our copy from the Kickstarter. Blah blah blah. AEG is starting to send out copies, and this one I know you've loved this one as well.
Oh, it's fantastic. Right? Yes.
Yeah.
This could have made my list because we really enjoyed it. But Jen and I actually played it probably half a dozen times when I was covering it for Kickstarter because it has kind of a Calico vibe. I believe the Calico designer was the producer or the editor on this one. Right. So he helped with the development. But it is very fast and it is a bit more laid back. I think you will love it. You will love it so much. And then the other thing too, Jen and I have just recently been playing Verdant, which is kind of like almost the sequel to Cascadia. So we've kind of had our fill recently of the what do you call it? The entangled drafting where, if I want to take this card, I also got to take this tile and I don't want that pair. I want, that kind of stuff. It's excellent. Yeah. It's beautiful. It's got great art from Beth Sobel, right?
Beth Sobel, yes, another favorite artist of mine, and I really do enjoy these games. We've seen a few of these where the tile lane and the there's like almost like a double layer, right? And Overboss is one that we just recently played. I soloed Overboss where you have to take tiles and also monsters, and so this is the latest and greatest, I believe, that I would like to play. So that is Cascadia.
That would be a good choice for you. You will have a blast when you eventually get your hand on it. You will not regret its entry into this list. I predict.
Awesome.
All right, so that was your number 6. Then my number 5. Getting a little older now. Got my new stuff out of the veins. It's Pandemic: Fall of Rome.
Oh,
Pandemic is my favorite game of all time. It's what brought us into the hobby, and I have played every iteration of Pandemic there is. And Fall of Rome, it's the most recent one that has come out. These spin-off games that Matt Leacock has teamed up with other designers to do, and this one is so phenomenal. Taking the Pandemic formula, but it's not about viruses in the modern day. Instead, it's about the barbarian tribes of the north trying to sack Rome, and we're running around trying to ally with them instead of cure them. Because once you do, then so it's like, imagine in Pandemic, if you cure a disease, that disease will help you fight the other diseases.
Mm-hmm.
Which is just so cool thematically. Some of the player powers you get in this game are unlike any I have ever seen before. The prognostication one, because there's a seer, so you get a little bit more interesting with that kind of stuff. And the way the cubes move, because they don't spread like a virus. Instead, they actually travel on migratory paths, and you have to set up blockades to stop them because you can't get rid of all of them. And so you have to make really smart decisions. And here's the funkiest thing about this. Normally, I am not a fan of roll to resolve at all. Hey, we made our choices. We've got everything figured out. Now let's just see if the dice let us do what we want to do. This is one of the very, very rare games that is so good that I engage and enjoy the roll to resolve, because when you do try to take the cubes off the board, your centurions actually have to fight them, and you can suffer attrition and lose some of your forces depending on how the dice go. It's great. It has so much, and I feel like, there's so much more for me to explore. Jen and I, we played it a few times, saw a few different characters, and I just want to revisit it because Pandemic's my favorite, and this is the one that I feel there's so much more waiting for me in Pandemic: The Fall of Rome.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you. So, would Fall of Rome be your favorite version of Pandemic?
Nope. My favorite, my number one, is always going to have to be Legacy 1.
Yeah, Legacy was so good.
Yeah, because Legacy 1 was so impactful. It made such a huge mark on me and Jen. Of these spin-off ones, there's this one, there's Rising Tide, there's Iberia, there's, I forget the name, the Cthulhu one that I don't remember the name of. It's not Call of Cthulhu, it's something else. Rise of Cthulhu, maybe, something like that.
I think so.
I think this is my favorite of the spin-offs.
Okay.
And again, that's saying something because it features a healthy dollop of dice, baby.
Yeah. dice, bit.
Yeah.
Well, did we also had we now had an Vanilla Ice reference, folks. So
although I messed up. I used 3 dices. What's that about? It's dice, baby, not dice, baby. I totally flummoxed it.
Hey, it's close enough.
Right.
So now, next on my list, speaking of dice, I think you're going to appreciate this one. I thought about this, and I immediately knew, okay, Rahdo's going to like this, because this is a game I have not played in a while. A couple, maybe over a year, maybe 2 years. No. It's been a year. I know I streamed this with Lauren, but I am looking forward to playing it again. It is a classic, The Castles of Burgundy, from your friend and mine, Stefan.
We have 2 Felds on our list today. Interesting.
Yes. Come on. This is a brilliant game through and through. A classic Euro. Dice. It's got dice, but it is, a lot of ways to mitigate the dice. You are building your estates in Burgundy. You've got all kinds of different things you can do here on your turn. You're going to be placing tiles and scoring. Pretty much, it's the classic point salad game, right?
Yep.
But it's just a masterful design. I've always loved playing this. And I had a real big problem with it at first because of colorblind issues. Other Feld games,
yes, of course.
Like other Feld games, they are just not colorblind friendly. But I love the game so much. On my copy, my personal copy, I have little stickers on pretty much every little tile, and I've written on them and stuff. And folks, when there's a great game, you will find a way to play it, and I've found my way to play it. And I think there's
what is your way? I assume it's a Sharpie, right?
Sharpie,
putting triangles, stuff like that.
Yep, Sharpie, and I also have these little, tiny little stickers that are little white round stickers where I just place on tiles, and I'll write on those, hey, this.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez, that's very crafty of you.
Yeah, thank you. Michelle inspired me for that one. She's the crafty one in our family, and at our local dollar store, they had the little stickers, and I was like, hey, these stickers would be great for these, and. Yeah, so that's Castles of Burgundy. Have you played this recently? I was wondering because I know this is.
I have. Okay. I always love me some Burgundy.
Yeah.
But we have. The special deluxe edition came in and it had some new stuff in it, so we played with that. Jen and I actually did a Patreon only backer view they got to see. So that one's still fairly fresh. So this is not the Feld that's coming.
Okay.
But, are you ready to move on?
Yeah. So I've talked about my Feld. Is your Feld coming up?
Wait a minute. We're not ready to move on, man.
Oh, we're not ready to move on. Oh God.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it!
What?
Folks, the secret word of episode 6 of the R&R show is crafty.
Oh my gosh. And I
thought for sure you were setting that up, and I was just going to be so obvious. I just wanted to jump in and be first on it because you were literally talking about craft work.
And I actually said Michelle is the crafty one in our family.
In response to me saying that's really crafty.
Oh,
you
Rahdo,
were not
we are
doing
now
all
3
of
and
that
3.
to set up
We are 3 and 3. That was well played, my friend. Amazing.
That's incredible.
Kudos. Friends,
so that was just dumb luck. You did not see that coming.
I did not see that coming. I was so focused on talking about the game. You know what? Okay, here it is. I was so excited that I had a Feld on my list. I was like, I can't wait till Rahdo talks about this. And I got all into it, and I started talking about the, all the colorblind stuff, and it just flew right over the head. So,
that is
friends,
awesome.
there it is.
I am very happy with that. So, folks,
send an email with crafty in it.
Yes, send an email to contest@rahdo.com or plural contests if you prefer. Either one will work. The subject has to be crafty, and anything else you want to do with that email is fine. But subject crafty, other words as well, that's fine. To contest@rahdo.com. So my scooper, my rule and Outlook will catch it, and you basically have until September 8th at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time to get that into us to win a copy of Flamecraft Deluxe Edition with all the bells and whistles and the special dragon and all of that. And remember, folks, you got 20 hours left if you want it back as well, because they're about to close down. Over $2 million they've raised for that game.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Amazing.
I knew it was going to do well because Jen and I played it. We thought, wow, this is definitely going to fun. No two ways about it. But I did not expect, it to be such a monster hit. And I'm nothing but happy for the folks who are behind it, because they're good folks. It's a great game. And the secret word is crafty. Oh, we're tied up. We're tied up.
3 and 3
playoffs.
We have people in chat saying Ruel is losing his touch. Obvious, I am. New American Underground says, strike first, Ruel. That's how it was working for you, perhaps. Maybe I'll have to just be a little quicker on these things. And well done, Rahdo. We are 3 and 3. You've made a nice comeback. Friends, one last time, type in crafty, send that in the subject to an email to contests@rahdo.com.
Cool.
Oh my God, I'm shaking right now. I'm shook, as the kids would say. That was excellent.
You've been
Rahdo.
Thunderstruck.
Because
for some reason on a previous episode we ended up having to list AC/DC songs.
AC/DC songs, yeah. I think that was like during a test
Q&A,
actually.
I think.
Yeah. That was fun. Okay,
so that was your number 6, if I recall correctly.
That was my number 6.
No, you're number 4. There's your number 4.
4.
Right. Okay, so we are back onto it, and we're not done talking about Feld, folks. This is your last chance, people who are trying to guess my Feld. It's not in the Year of the Dragon. Oh, it is. It's in the Year of the Dragon. I was going to say it's not Burgundy. My number 3 is in the Year of the Dragon. I didn't give you a chance to say everybody one last guess. All right, in the Year of the Dragon.
In the Year of the Dragon, nice.
I will be honest, is not my favorite Feld at all. I think it's a brilliant game, and it makes sense to me that it is a lot of people's favorite Feld. I absolutely love it. But I rate it a bit lower because it is by far the most brutal, harshest Feld of all. It's one of the most brutal, harshest Euro-style, economic simulation that has ever come out. It is the Year of the Dragon, and we're going to go through 12 months of ruination. Although, to be fair, the first 2 months, January and February, they're totally fine because you're trying to get all your stuff ready. But then March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, it's all terrible. But the brilliant thing about this game is every month is going to have an event, and you can see right from the get-go what November is going to be and what October is going to be and what June is going to be. And you can't prepare for everything, but you got to try. And these events will rip you up as you are trying to, build infrastructure, bring on people who can prepare. And it's so great. And what I love about it is the action selection. There are 7 action tiles, which are, getting resources, building, stuff like that. And every round, you take those 7 action tiles up, you shuffle them up, and then you break them into groups. In a 2-player game, you have a group of 4 and a group of 3. And whoever is first, and turn order has rarely been more important in a game than in this game, whoever is first picks an entire group and says, okay, of this group I just picked, I want that action. And now everybody else is frozen out of that group unless they want to pay extra to get in. And this is a game of very narrow margins. So player 2, well, okay, I'm going to pick this group. Player 3, I'm going to pick this group. Now in a 2-player game, there's a group of 4 and there's a group of 3. And it works so well. The number of times I have referred to In the Year of the Dragon as a brilliant way to scale action selection economies in games. I mean, it is absolutely phenomenal. But I have not played it for over half a decade, not since the 10th anniversary edition came out. Okay. Jen loves it because somehow she never seems to struggle. She somehow seems to be prepared for every single event. Whereas me, I'm like John McClane at the end of the first Die Hard, just can barely move, just Ollie, as I just try to drag myself across the finish line. But it is fantastic. Not the prettiest one. It's an older game, but really fantastic. My number 3, In the Year of the Dragon.
Wow. Yeah, I have not played this one yet. And it's partly because I have heard those things where a lot of people really aren't that big on this one compared to other felts. But I do want to shout out your reference to John McClane, yet another 80s reference here, folks. Die Hard, one of the greatest, well, actually the greatest Christmas movie of all time. And I am sticking to that. It is a Christmas movie through and through, and it's the greatest one of all time. Okay, so
Chat
that was
seems to be saying I should have chosen Bonfire, and Bonfire is fantastic. But it's still fairly fresh in my memory, you know, when I covered it last year. Whereas In the Year of the Dragon, I just want to feel like I don't feel like I've been being beaten up by games enough recently. So I'm just cruising for a bruising basically by wanting to pull that one out.
Nice. Okay, so that is your number 3. Now we're on my number 2. This one, boy, how do I describe this? This is on being crowdfunded right now. And, you know, let me just get right to it.
Man, this is all FOMO for Ruel today.
Big time.
Old games, dead to me.
Yeah. Well, I got one old game. This old stuff. This is Mythic Mischief.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow, you are really hooked on that game then.
I love this game. So again, full disclosure, I have created content for this game. I've done videos. I've done live playthroughs. I cannot get enough of this game. And I'll tell you, I'm going to confess right here. I'm terrible at this game. I'm so bad at this game. I have not won. So I did play it with chat yesterday.
Okay.
It was great. We live streamed on my Twitch channel, and I did defeat chat. But again, it's come on. Yeah, I can't really.
Internet.
You know, internet, they can come at me. But this is an abstract game at its heart, but it's got asymmetric player abilities. You are a group of kids in a library. I love the theme. You're middle school kids trying to keep away from the tome keeper, the librarian, because you're being noisy, you're pulling pranks, whatever. So you're trying to get the other factions, the other kids, in trouble from the tome keeper. And the tome keeper every turn is going to move certain spaces here on the track. They're going to their destinations. You can set it up by moving bookcases, so they go in a pre-programmed movement. You can put the bookcases in the way so they change their movement, and you have different abilities where you can trap the other kids, or you can slide them around. Or my favorite is the troll, or the troll? No, the monsters,
the Frankenstein's monster types. Yeah,
where you can toss your opponent. I call it suplex. You know, you can suplex your opponent. It's so much fun. I cannot get enough of this game. It really is, because I think it's because I want to get better at it. You know, and to me, those type of games where I'm not that, you know, I brain burn with this one a lot, and it's so good. But here's the thing. Here's what's cool about this. For those of you that suffer from analysis paralysis or brain burn like myself, they have a mode where you can play. It's a faster mode. It's like a real-time element called
like a speed chess kind of thing?
Pretty much, yeah. And I played it. It is fantastic. It's so much fun. You can play 2v2 where you and a partner take different factions. You team up and try to get the other kids in trouble from the tome keeper. Oh, it's so much fun. You want to get like 2 minutes per move, but it works perfectly. And that's Mythic Mischief from Ivy Games. Did Shay play this one?
Yes. I forget. This game got the full treatment from the channel. Shay did a run through that was very fun. He played all the way through from start to finish. It really shows off I think it was the monsters versus the witches, if I recall correctly.
Yes.
And then Ryan also did a full rules run through as well. Okay. And he dressed appropriately.
Nice.
He got out his old teenage years clothes, I think, and they somehow still fit. This game's doing very, very well on GameFound right now, and that's really saying something. The fact that you actually have played it a fair bit, and it's still, clawing at your brain.
It totally is. You know, every time. So it's one of those games where after I'm done, I'm like, oh, I should have done this, this, and this rather than that, and that. You know, and it's one of those games it really is stuck in my craw, and I can't wait to play it again. You know what? They just announced yesterday when they launched. There's a solo mode by David Turchi. He is on board, and he has done the solo mode.
Yes, that's very cool. I can see how that.
Totally.
Turchi's the right man for that job, I think.
Correct. Yeah. All right, cool. So that's my
number
two.
Mythic, not mystic, Mythic Mischief.
Yes.
Right.
All right. Let's do the number one.
Then my number one is another oldie that, again, I have not played for over half a decade. It's in my top 10 games of all time. I love it so much. It is a civilization building game. It is Nations.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So you will find it. You will share it with the nice people. And I will say, I mean, man, this game is so fantastic. It does really, I mean, it brings the the ancient world to life. It does a really great job of having lots of really interesting thematic cards. It's it is a through the ages Civ style game where you'll go through multiple ages, from prehistory, not almost prehistory or antiquities, all the way up to the modern day. And there's so many things I love about it. It's a card draft. Every round, everybody's going to be able to grab a card. In a 2-player game, I think there are 12 cards on display. They go quick. There's war cards, development cards, resource cards, ancient wonders of the world cards. They all function differently. Everybody's, starting empire has a very unique special power that sets them apart and really gives them a direction. And there are many, many things I could love about this game, because also after you get the cards, there's a worker placement game where you have thing.
Uh-oh.
And did I go?
We just had a little hiccup there. I don't know what that was.
We've been doing so well so long.
Yeah,
I did hear Jen just came in from the doctor. I don't think she would have tripped over the modem or anything, but I'm back, right?
We're good. Yeah, we're good.
Okay. So you're drafting the cards, but then the cards become worker placement spots that you can actually assign your population to. And over the course of the game, I mean, you can put multiple meeples on a given to really say my society focuses on this, but you will have to pivot. Okay, we need to stop focusing on this, and I need to move some over here to do these other things, and eventually we have to retire this technology because we moved on. It's the 1800s now. We don't need bows and arrows anymore, type stuff. And but the thing that really sets this apart from all its brethren, because there's a lot of games that do this, is the fact that the way war is handled. This is not a game where I am trying to destroy you. If a war in a given era is triggered, it's basically a points contest. Whoever has the highest military strength basically gets bonuses. Whoever has the highest stability can completely ignore the effects of war, or almost completely ignore them. So players can really diversify, and so the war element is there for people who want that in Civilization. It's really interesting and well implemented, but not in a really aggressive, I'm going to burn your stuff to the ground. Okay. It's a brilliant game. It's big, it's long. The Dynasties expansion added so much more. I have not played it since Dynasties came out, and I so want to play it. It's my number one game if I want to play now.
Nice.
Nations.
Nice.
All right.
As far as just a quick question, Nations, the dice game, how is that compared to this? Because
it's a lovely little roll and write.
Okay.
Or no, it's not a roll and write. It's a lovely old roll and tile draft.
Okay.
It's good. It's a nice little like high 7, low 8s kind of game. It had an expansion too that was also very good. But no, I mean, Nations is one of those rare games that, hey, we're going to sit down and we're going to have 3 hours of fun time, and we won't even notice the time has passed. Actually, that's not, more like 2.5 hours, really. We played enough to where we're that quick, and we're slow players. But yeah,
awesome.
That's my number one, Nations. How much time do we have left?
We've got approximately 12 minutes left, I believe. Yeah.
So do we want to do a Ruel ranks, or do we want to save that and do some more Q&A, since we haven't done Q&A for a while?
Yeah, let's do Q&A. Let's catch up with our Q&A.
Okay, folks, Ruel will be ranking something near and dear to his heart next week. But today, it is time for you to ask us questions and run it out. Now, of course, it's going to take you anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute to know. Did you have any almost? Did you have any ones that really like, I gotta have, I mean,
are you asking me as far as game?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm giving them time to start asking questions.
Yeah. So one game that just missed my list. Again, I'm all about this like FOMO recently, but Alien: Fate of the Nostromo, the Alien game from Ravensburger.
Seriously?
Yeah, that one. It's a cooperative game, and you're playing out the scenario of Alien the movie, the original one, where Ripley and the crew, hey, they got to gather up all the resources and try to figure out what's going on with this thing in our ship. And then there's events that's like, ooh, is that the alien? Boom, now you got to fight him, and try to destroy him. So I'm looking forward to that. What about you? Anything that just missed your list?
Probably the next one. My number 6 would have been Trajan. Which is also
that's the one I thought
10.
You were going to pick. I thought you were going to pick that film.
That would have been a reasonable. The thing is, we did get some Trajan in, what was it, last year or maybe the year before when Black Angel came. And so I wanted to, that gave me an opportunity. Hey, I need to go back and play some Trajan so I can compare and contrast these two games. Yeah. And so it was still fairly fresh, but I mean, I'd happily play it any time of the day or week. Yeah.
Nice.
Let's see.
We got some questions. Thanks, friends, for joining us. Kabuki Kids in the house. Someone is asking, does Ruel have chickens? No, I do not have chickens, unfortunately. I do have a pug. That's not the first
time that's been asked as well.
Yeah, I do have a pug.
I want to know about your chickens.
No chickens for me yet.
I mean, you have a house, right? Have you ever considered backyard chickening?
No. There's we used to have a neighbor that had a chicken, but I don't know what happened. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's all very mysterious.
I had nothing to do with it. Serious. Let's see. We've got Rahdo. Here's a question from Brian Rollins. What game are you dying to have reprinted?
Well, I mean, there's ones that I have that I know are impossible to get that I would love to see reprinted, but those aren't me personally. What is out there that I cannot get my hands on now?
Yeah.
I think I've got everything I want. I'm going to take a quick look. I'm going to look at my wish list.
Ones that probably won't be that will not be reprinted, like Glory to Rome, obviously.
Well, Glory to Rome, but I already have it. I mean, so
you do have
Rome
it. Yeah, I don't have that
one. If there's one game that should be reprinted, it's Glory to Rome. If there's two games that should be reprinted, it's Walnut Grove. It is criminal to me that Walnut Grove did not get. I mean, Walnut Grove from designer Tuco Tucalia. I hung out with him for a while, so I learned how to say his name. I think I've got it right, Tuco. Had the misfortune of coming out the same year as Eclipse. And as far as I was concerned, Walnut Grove destroyed Eclipse. It was such a great little game. But of course, everybody remembers Eclipse from that year. But it's a wonderful little house on the prairie, Euro-style simulation, tile laying game. So, I mean, there'd be those. But what for me? I think I'm happy. I don't know that there's anything I don't want that I've got. So I'm going to go with Walnut Grove.
Okay.
Because, man, that game deserves a deluxeification in a big way, I think.
All right. Let's move on here. Got a lot of questions.
I've got one. Friends. Trinidad, Francis. My answer is no, but have you played Nemesis?
I have not played Nemesis. No.
Okay, that's probably why you skipped that, because you knew I hadn't. All right.
Let's continue here. Well, okay. Here's this is interesting. Juso Vanio says, which game do you used to love and now don't want to play anymore? That is interesting.
I mean, all video games. That's an easy answer.
So you don't play any video games anymore?
Gosh, no. After I left the video game industry, I was so burned out, and these are so superior. There's no video game in the world that can hold a candle to something I would rank a 7 for just the experience of sitting down and playing it with my wife. Let's see. So that's the easy way out. But what about you? I need to think about this a little bit. What did you use to love and now you hate?
I'm thinking of, oh my gosh, what
game? What?
Yeah.
When we a decade ago, when we first started getting into modern board games, I think we were much more open to player versus player stuff than we are now. Over time, as I've played more and more Euros and seen more and more cool ways to engender player interaction without players having to kick each other's sandcastles over, I've just had less and less and less interest in that. So, I mean, early on, there was a time when I really liked Small Worlds, and I played it a lot with my coworkers.
Okay.
And people wouldn't expect that of me today.
Yeah.
So that's an example. And I've got quite a few of those that once upon a time, I kind of dug this, but now I'm like, I just can't bring myself to anymore. There's so many wonderful games where I build and create rather than tear down and destroy. So yeah,
that's fair.
What about you?
That's fair.
I gave you enough time. You must think of something.
I can't think of one. Darn it! I'm such an omni gamer, and
you do kind of like everything. It's true.
Yeah, it really is. If I didn't have to play, oh my gosh, when I first got into the game hobby, I mentioned Suro earlier. Suro, I think it's a wonderful, fantastic gateway game. If I don't have to. I probably don't love it as much as I did before.
Well, there you go. You found one.
There it is. There it is.
I imagine Suro you would still play in the right circumstances, but you're not
absolutely.
It out.
Yeah, especially at someone with family or friends who have never played a game before, and if we had a copy of Suro, of course I'd play with them. But I would rather play something like Indigo. That is a Reiner Knizia design. That's sort of like his take on Suro, which is I think a little better. Actually, much better. But yeah, great question. Thank you, friends.
Thank you.
Let's continue.
Wonders, we'll be doing an Essen preview in the coming weeks. And we haven't talked about it at all yet, Leva, but my expectation, I was actually thinking next week we probably should do a Gen Con one. because in 2 weeks' time, Gen Con is upon us. So next week we probably do a Gen Con. And then the question is, because Gen Con is so close to Essen, is there going to be enough of a difference? I suspect there will be. Right. And so we'll probably do an Essen one in the month of October, I think. Yeah. Unless you feel otherwise.
No, I think that's a great idea. We will figure something out. Cool. Ashley Rose asks, what is the ugliest game that you love to play? This is easy for me. This is easy for me. So anything by Steffenfeld. For whatever reason.
You shut your mouth. There are talented quality artists working on all of these games, including
terrible
in the Year of the Dragon.
They're brutal. Here's why. Again, colorblind issues. It's like the publishers, or the artists. They look at Steffenfeld's games like, this is a great game. Let's make it as least accessible to those who have colorblind issues. That's how I feel sometimes. And
that's fair enough. That's a good point.
Yeah, but what about you? What is the ugliest game? I don't know. I'll think of something else as well as while you're thinking here.
To be honest, I mean, we really like pretty games, and I mean, I have gotten rid of games that I otherwise thought were good, but like, okay, we just don't want it on the table. So I am literally scanning through the 400 or so games I've got right now. I mean, I've got plenty of games that I would say are kind of what you were referring to as Feld that are kind of boring.
Yeah,
they're kind of milquetoast, they're kind of bland, but they're not actively repulsive.
Right.
What is an actively repulsive game that it just makes I have to squint to actually bring myself to play? Jeez.
I mean, I guess you could say something, some like abstract,
I do have an answer.
Oh, okay.
The original first edition of Adventures of D, which was a little, a competitive card. It's basically a deck of cards that becomes the world you're exploring, but they're multi-use cards. They're also the cards you use to fight. They're also monsters that you fight. Is really, really clever. And I mean, I imagine it would probably make most people's top 10 worst board game art of all time.
Okay.
I mean, pretty easily. Now, it's kind of cheating because it eventually got a second printing just last year, I think. And in fact, I'll be covering it this month. And the new version looks nice. So, but for years, I held on to the first edition of Adventures of D, and it were ugly.
I think that's saying something, that you held on to a game that ugly, yet you saw the gameplay was good enough to keep. That's really interesting. Okay. Cody P asks, have you played the solo mode for Cryo yet? Cryo was...
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I have not either. I actually printed out the rules. Z-Man Games came out with an official solo variant. It's like a page rules. And
they weren't available to begin with, and they since released
them? They were not.
Oh, that's cool. I did not know that.
Yeah, me neither, until I think just within a month or so. So yeah, I have not played it either.
All right, enough gaming stuff. Ashley wants to know, what are our favorite movie genres?
Oh.
And for me, it's easy, although it's kind of cheesy. My favorite movie genre at this point is the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, that's what I figured. For me, sci-fi, anything. I'm a Star Wars, Star Trek geek. But yeah, that's pretty much those are my favorite. I do like a good action movie. You mentioned Die Hard. I love those 80s action films. You got Die Hard. You get anything with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Those silly, stupid movies.
Anything with hard in the title. Hard Rain.
Yeah, hard. Hard Target.
A very sadly overlooked little gem of a wonderful, what is it? That's Die Hard in a flooding town, as I recall.
Wait, which one?
Hard Rain.
Oh, Hard Rain. Oh, was that Sylvester Stallone?
Not the best time to bring up Hard Rain, I suppose, considering the state of the world at the moment. Yeah, maybe we should move on to the next one.
Let's do it. We've got let's see. Questions.
Cody wants to know, what are your thoughts on Dwellings of Eldervale? Have you played it?
I have not played it yet. I've heard a lot of great things about it. Have you? You've covered that?
No, Shay played it. And Cody, you can do a search for Rahdo Dwellings of Eldervale. Shay does a great job demonstrating how it goes, how it works.
Steve over on Facebook says, I don't need to play Azul anymore. Talking about games that I love Azul. Steve, if you're burned out on Azul, try Summer Pavilions. I think that's a superior version of Azul.
Okay. Darren points out, when I was talking about Black Angel, I was making a parallel to Trajan. I meant to say Trois.
Oh, Trois. Okay,
number 6 on the list, not Trajan. Trajan has nothing to do with Black Angel. That was silly of me.
Good catch.
All right.
Okay, great question so far, friends. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Except for the one. Now that we're getting closer. Okay, now that we're getting closer to October Halloween, any horror theme games do you enjoy playing? I actually, okay, here's another one that I was going to put on my list, but I didn't. There's a new re-theme of the game Horrified called American Masters, I believe. And instead of like the classic movie monsters, they are actually American like urban legends like Bigfoot, the Chupacabra, and all kinds of like American, monsters, like the New Jersey Devil. It's the same type of thing. It's a cooperative game, pick up and deliver, and you're trying to get rid of these monsters. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Arkham Horror, the card game. I certainly enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm.
Little known one, Crimson Creek, where it's a social deduction game where everybody's trying to hide from a Jason type slasher. And the thing is, it's possible that one of the players playing is possessed by the equivalent of Jason and doesn't know it. And so players have to be really smart about, sharing information, keeping information secret, trying to figure out, is one of us the killer? Because even the killer doesn't know. And if you find out that, oh, I am the killer, I didn't realize that, then, okay, well, now I got to kill all of you, but still keep it on the down low. That was a really clever game. I did a run through for, actually, many, many years ago. And I guess Space Hulk, if you consider Aliens, no. Do you consider James Cameron's Aliens to be horror? I don't think you can.
No, I put that sci-fi / action.
Yeah. So I'd probably go with Crimson Creek.
Nice. Someone said in chat who I just saw it, Kabuki Kid Horrified is great, almost a better co-op to interest new players in Pandemic, and then they duck. Good call, Kabuki Kid. And Leave Togus says Horrified was an unexpected hit in my home. Yeah, same here. I was surprised how much I like Horrified. I think I really enjoyed the old school Universal monsters, Frankenstein and the creature from the Black Lagoon, that type of thing. I love the theme of that game.
Kabuki keeps throwing non-game stuff, and we talked about games for an hour. One more. What is your most memorable movie-going experience?
Ooh, oh gosh.
Mine are memorable because they were terrible. Probably the worst one was the original Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. I mean, my wife had been waiting years to see it. She'd been waiting her whole life to see it. She was so excited. It was a packed house, day one, an afternoon showing. And, she was completely transfixed, transformed, teleported into that world. And in the front row, there was a family with a screaming baby. And for the first half hour, all the, the early stuff, I'm like, oh my God, this won't shut up. And at some point, I'm like, honey, we have to go, right? And it was like literally, I had to shake her to pull her out of the trance she was in. She was unaware. I'm like, no, we can't go. This is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. And like, no, honey, I can't stay. I don't want to have this room spoiled because I want to love it as much as you. And we begrudgingly got up and left and got our money back. And that was very, very sad.
How far were you into the movie? About half an hour?
We had not left. I think they were just heading out on the Shire. Imagine, them on the road, being terrified of the Nazgul hiding in the trunk of the tree and the whole time.
Oh, no.
And the woman, they could not. I think they had actually taken the kid out and brought the kid back in, and it kept going. It's like, you need to leave. Nobody else seemed to care. I got up and we left.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Yes. My most memorable one, 1977, the little film called Star Wars.
Oh wow, that's a good one.
Yeah. My parents took me. They didn't take both my younger brothers were too small, so we had a babysitter. They took me there to the old Pasadena Academy, and this was one of those grand theaters that sat like 2,000 people or something, or it seemed like 2,000 when I was a little kid. And I just remember seeing that first shot. It's still indelible in my mind. That first shot of the Star Destroyer coming across the screen, and just it made such an impression on me. And of course, all the Star Wars movies I've seen multiple times. And anytime there's one in the theaters, I will go see it. And I always think about just the Star Wars, the John Williams theme, everything.
I saw it opening month as well, because that was back when movies would stay in the theater for many, many months.
Yeah.
We saw it several times. We saw it in Sacramento at the big super domes that have now been closed down. I found out a couple of years ago. Sadly, I wanted to go back there. I should join you with that, but my equivalent to that is not Star Wars. It's Flash Gordon.
Flash Gordon.
Because Flash Gordon came out. It was in theaters on my birthday. I must have been 10 or 11. And for my birthday, my parents said, you know what? You're old enough now. You and your brother can go watch this movie by yourselves.
Wow.
And we're just going to get the heck away from you two.
Wasn't
sure
that a rated R movie? Was that a rated R movie?
No, it was not. No.
Oh, okay.
It was very cheesy, silly, wonderful stuff.
Yeah,
but I mean, I remember, I was on cloud nine. Like, I'm a grown up. I'm old enough to see a movie by myself. This is amazing.
Wow.
So,
You know, speaking of that, okay, my growing up experience at the movies was Conan the Barbarian.
Oh wow.
My aunt dropped me and my cousin off, and we were definitely not a rated R age.
No, definitely not.
And just seeing spoiler alert, there was violence in Conan the Barbarian. I was like, my mind was just blown. But it was awesome. But yeah, that is my experience.
All right, we are done. We can stay on this question for the next half hour, obviously. True. But folks, that is it. Another done and dusted So remember, we're not saying the secret word, but figure out the secret word. If you're just joining us now, watch the show, find the secret word, send that to contest@rahdo.com to win a copy of the deluxe version of Flamecraft. And otherwise, return a week from today. And I believe next week we will be doing the countdown, because I was looking at it. Next week we do the Gen Con countdown, or we could do it the following week, but then Gen Con literally launches the next day.
Right.
That's not cool.
No. Let's do it next week. And friends, you can also find all the archived R&R episodes there. I just dropped it, rnr.rahdo.com. Go check that out. You can find out all the you can see all the previous episodes right there on the site.
Yep. Awesome. Okay. It was another good one. It was very fun. I'm glad we have to keep making time to do Q&A. I very much enjoy those.
So do I. Yeah, let's make it a thing to really, we got to do it every I think try to do it every time if we can.
All right.
Okay, we're done, folks. So thanks again for joining us. This has been the R&R Show. My name is Ruel Gaviola. I'm going to pass it on to my co-host, Rahdo.
I'm going to say thanks very much for watching, folks. And thanks once again to our sponsor of the show. In closing, gamerglass.art. And remember, if you head over to gamerglass.art, you will find there's a sale going on for beautiful what do you call them? The Meeple Hearts, 20% off if you use the code R&R Hearts during checkout. And thanks for watching, everybody. Talk to you later. So long.